See, I'm smiling, and I look over, and Matt Curtis has this fearsome. Hey, everyone, welcome into the Huddle. I'm John Pynakker with the Holly Valley Daily News. Boom, Matt Curtis from Anderson Ford. How you doing, brother?
Good. How you doing?
Good. We are here to talk football. We do this every week. Last week, Matt Hanrahan was in here, and I hope Matt is watching because he and I disagreed on 4 games, and I got 3 of those 4 right. And the other one, I think I was right on, and then I changed my mind just so that we didn't disagree too much. But I don't know. We'll see. I tried to convince Matt last week that you and I, the last 2 weeks before that we got all the games right.
Got them all right. I
including
saw that.
both of the Jets, Giants.
I saw that. He wasn't buying them.
He wasn't buying it. I think Matt knows me too well. Yeah. All right, this is brought to you by Anderson Ford of Bullhead City, right over here on Highway 95, almost just down the street from us here. And we got an event that they're going to be doing Monday night, but we'll show you that in a little while. Let's go into the games right off the bat. We got a pretty good one tonight. Denver at Cleveland. Yeah. A month ago we would have said, hey, we have a 3-0 team against a really good offensive team. Yeah. Now things have changed kind of a little bit, but first of all, you had Denver. Teddy Bridgewater just had a miserable week last week.
He did.
Is that the result of who he was playing? Is that just what you get with Teddy sometimes, do you think?
I think there's a little added pressure. It's a division game. So you run into a little bit of that. He didn't look good. No. He wasn't himself, wasn't as mobile as normal. I think he had a lot of pressure on him. The Raiders got out and put contact on him early. He had a lot of pressure, a lot of contact early on in the first quarter. So
you get beat up pretty good. But the Browns aren't in any better shape. They got whooped pretty good last week. Not only that they got whooped by Arizona, but they got physically whooped. Oh, yeah. Baker Mayfield, Chubb was already out, and now they lost Kareem Hunt for a while anyway. It was an elite game a few weeks ago, depending on what you really thought about Denver. I know a lot of us weren't really buying the start because they were playing bad teams, but we figured they'd at least be improved with Bridgewater. What do you think about tonight's game?
It's an interesting one. Honestly, I think Denver could pull this one off because of Cleveland's injuries. Yeah. I think that Cleveland having so many people out, I think that's the big saving grace for Denver. If you had a healthy Cleveland team, I would definitely say the Browns were going to take this one. But with the injuries they sustained last week and the guys that still haven't come back, I would have to flip it and say Broncos.
Yeah, so you got your starting quarterback, which, whatever you think of him, he's a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah.
You got 2 stud running backs between Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Odell Beckham is injured. He's playing, but he's been kind of sketchy. You take away your top 4 offensive players. Yeah, it's pretty tough. So you think
you take the playmakers out of the game, and I know we like to say defense wins ball games, but unfortunately, unless the defense is going to have a couple pick sixes tonight, I'd have to lean towards the Broncos winning this one.
Okay, I don't even know who's going to be playing instead of Baker Mayfield.
Keenum, isn't it?
Is it Case Keenum?
I think so.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
So he now officially has played for every NFL team?
Every NFL team.
Good Lord. All right. I don't know that I think it'll be a good close game, and I think it'll be fun to watch. If Case Keenum's the guy, then yeah, I would say Denver. All right, Sunday. I guess I got to get on the Baltimore Ravens bandwagon, huh? For weeks I've been going, yeah, okay, whatever. But they just keep doing it, and they were real impressive last week.
Yeah.
So we have the Bengals at the Baltimore Ravens. Bengals are 4-2, Ravens are 5-1. Lamar Jackson seems to be Mr. Everything for that team. Some people are talking about him in the MVP race right now.
What can't the guy do? The capabilities and what he's got. They've suffered tremendously in the running back game, and you heard guys coming out of the woodworks, Le'Veon Bell, Devontae Freeman, and Latavius Murray, who, you got 3 guys that in their heyday were great running backs, and now they've come into a second or third or fourth chance to do it again, and the guys are stepping up and getting the job done. They all looked impressive last week. Devontae Freeman had some good runs. Bell found pay dirt, ended up in the end zone. So, I mean, if these guys keep playing the way they are, when Baltimore lost all of their running backs and didn't know what they were going to do, these guys stepping up and doing what they're doing, I think Baltimore's a serious team to be keeping an eye on.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like I said, they're not the flashy. In the past, the Ravens were that defensive juggernaut.
Yeah.
You were like, oh my gosh, yeah, but offensively they're whatever, but defensively you can't score on them. Now that it's kind of changed, and it's interesting to see.
Oh, and the one game they did lose was to the Raiders, but they lost that in overtime. So, I mean,
they could have been undefeated.
Could have been undefeated. I mean,
they're not the best team in the AFC, though.
I wouldn't say so, but I do think they've, as far as playmakers, they seem to keep finding playmakers. And I got to be honest, I think the offensive play calling is a big part of it. Coaches seem to be getting the right plays in when they need them. They're getting a lot of first downs, not punting a whole lot. They're just making things happen.
They don't have the best offense, but they are utilizing the players that are healthy enough to play in the way they should.
Yeah.
Do you want to give them a call? Do you have anything left on your knees where you get out there and run the rock for them a little
Ain't
bit?
happening.
No,
I'm not a runner. Never been one.
All right. I'm just trying to help out here, you and the Ravens.
You wouldn't be helping me if I put me in a game now.
So we're saying both of us the Ravens.
Ravens.
I agree.
Yep.
All right, Washington football team at the Green Bay Packers. Obviously, the only reason this game is in here is because
Yeah.
Packers are 5-1. Washington's 2-4. The Packers have played their 3 out of the last 4 on the road, so they're finally coming back home.
Yeah.
They're playing against a team that has allowed an average of 34.3 points the last few games, so the defense isn't getting it done. Does Washington have a chance in this?
I don't think so. They really don't have key players. Their defense can't stop the pass. You're going to have Rodgers and Devontae Adams are going to be connecting. I don't foresee there being a corner or safety that's going to be able to stop that from happening. If they do try to go over and double team them, you've got to, you're going to be able to go to outlet to a running back. You're going to be able to go to a tight end. There's too many threats right now, and Rodgers has way too much experience to go up against, Washington's inexperience. McLaurin is probably their best offensive threat that they have right now, and they're struggling to get the ball to him.
And the Packers, they signed another one today, Whitney Merciless. They just keep adding veterans on that defense. They've had some injuries like everybody has.
Yeah.
I don't know why we haven't gotten a corner yet to replace Jair, but whatever. I don't think this is going to be much of a game at all. But the Packers do at times. They play down to their level of competition. The one thing that I have been real happy to see the last few weeks is they've developed kind of a thunder and lightning running back thing with A.J. Dillon back there, and so that's been fun to watch. And
I'll tell you something, a little funny thing that I was looking at. I looked at this because of you. The Cardinals right now, with the record that they have, I just went on there and I was looking at some ticket prices. And traditionally, you can go to an Arizona Cardinal game. There's tickets available in the $50, right? $56, $60 range. I was on looking, and I just said I want to see what them being undefeated is doing. And I went on and I was looking, and next week's game, there's still tickets for this week's game with the Lions for $63.
Wow.
But next week when the Packers come, the cheapest ticket is $296. So it's almost like the fans want to see that good game, and they know that next week's game is going to be the good one, and ticket prices are going up.
You know what? I'll wait till Lions or the Packers. I'll wait till next week.
Yeah.
I've gone down there to watch the Packers and Cardinals play, and they're expensive, and there are a lot of Packer fans there. They travel real well and all that, but especially over these last 5 or 6 years, the Cardinal fans have just gotten really boisterous and motivated into the whole Red Sea or the Red Wave
or whatever it is.
Yeah, so good.
I just thought it was funny. We were talking about the Packers, and I looked at that, and I was like, I got to mention that to John.
Yep. All right, Kansas City Chiefs at the Titans. Another really good game.
Good
This
game,
would be fun. Never would have expected the Chiefs to be 3-3 at this point. Titans are looking tough. Keep putting the ball in Derrick Henry's hands and things happens. For such a big guy, he's 252 pounds or something like that. it's just weird to see him bust through the line and pull away from
Did you
DBs.
Did you see he broke the record?
For
that run.
Oh,
that
the speed, the
fast,
21 miles an hour, whatever
what
it was.
27, wasn't it? 27.3 miles an hour. They said it was the fastest speed run by an NFL player in full gear.
It's insane.
Crazy. But yeah, no, I mean, he's just explosive, and the hard part is, who is Kansas City this year? You know, they're so hit and miss. You know, they're losing the teams that they should be beating. You and I talked about it a couple weeks ago. You know, Mahomes just isn't as mobile as what he used to be for some reason. And the guy's still young. He really hasn't been taking any major hits, any big hits where he's been injured or anything, but he just doesn't seem to be as mobile as he has been and what he's used to. Now, granted, he still makes some miraculous passes and shovel passes and across his body running the opposite way. He's still making that happen, but he's not as mobile. You look at the Chiefs and over the past couple of years, and you look at the amount of rushing yards that Mahomes has, he's contributed. I mean, he's had a couple of 100-yard games himself rushing, and he's just not having that. So I don't know if that's adding to it. You don't have the running backs that he's had in the past. You don't have the Charles. You don't have these guys. So, you know, Hilaire's hurt. You know, so I don't know. Kelsey hasn't been contributing the way he normally has. It seems like the only person who's shown any kind of real consistency on the team is Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, and being a 4-3 guy or a 4-2-4 guy or whatever, that covers up a lot of problems.
Yeah.
So do you think this is one of these things where they have said, look, we want you in the pocket throwing the ball, and it's kind of taken away some of his opportunity to look at the first option, maybe the second option, and then just get out of town? Is it the line that's causing him problems?
I don't know, because Andy Reid's a aggressive coach.
Yeah.
You know, he's the guy that's telling you, go get it. And it's not necessarily that Mahomes isn't rolling out of the pocket anymore. He's still rolling out of the pocket. He's getting outside the tackles. He's just not going downfield. So he's getting out, he's scrambling, but he's thrown, I forget what the stat was I was looking at last year, but he's thrown more interceptions this year than he had in all of last season or all of the last 2 seasons combined, something along those lines. And don't quote me on that, but that was what they came up and said. He's more picks by week 6 than he did all last season or something like that. So
to me, that sounds like somebody that's really trying to force it into some place instead of looking at it and going, hey, the field's open, I'm already outside the pocket, 1 and 2 are covered, I might as well go.
Well, that's the thing. Who's his 2, really? You know, you got Tyreek Hill and you got Kelsey. Who are you going to after that? And, you know, you don't have Hilaire in there running the flat, getting out into the seam. You know, he's always had the luxury, too. He's had the extra guys. He's had Sammy Watkins as his, you know, check down guy. And I just don't think that the Chiefs are who they were a year ago or 2 years ago, just basically due to personnel. I think the guys that are still there are good, very good athletes, very good players at what they do, but he just doesn't have all the weapons that he used to have.
And you're really not surprising people anymore. You know, a year ago or 2 years ago for sure. Last year, now everyone understands what you're trying to do over there.
Yeah, so. And let's not take anything away. I mean, look at Tennessee. Tannehill had a fantastic game last week. Derrick Henry, again, you know, the guy's a beast, unstoppable. Defense seems to be stepping up when they needed to make some big plays. They had a couple of real big holes. But the most impressive one there, by far, is Derrick Henry. I mean, the guy, just unstoppable.
All right, so who do you got? Chiefs at Titans?
I would go Titans.
Really? Yeah, I don't know what. So the Chiefs Chiefs lose this game, they're in danger of not even making the playoffs between everyone else in that division.
AFC is a tough one right now because there's so many teams that are kind of right in the middle of the road. You have a couple teams that are in, you know, 5-1. You got a bunch of teams sitting at 4-2, and then you get into the West, and you know you got the Raiders and the Chargers sitting on top there. Yeah. You know, and it's going to be a dogfight. Yeah. The rest of the season is going to be a dogfight.
I'm happy to see that.
Yeah,
I love that.
I bet you are.
I mean, I love the dogfight part of it. You AFC guys beat each other up all you want, and then when it hits the NFC, when it hits the Super Bowl, maybe things will be a little bit different.
Yeah.
Well, with Brady not in the AFC anymore, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, this one, again, wouldn't be in here if it weren't for our general manager, but Lions at the Rams. Lions have not won yet. There's some debate whether or not they are the worst team in football. Maybe with Jacksonville winning, maybe now they have claimed that. Rams are 5-1. Other than one little blip against the Cardinals, they have been pretty well unstoppable.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford leads the leagues in yards per attempt, passer rating, 40-yard completions, and is second in the NFC in touchdowns. It's funny that they get to play each other when it was basically a swap for Stafford for Jared Goff. And so they're going to be playing at the Rams. I wonder how Jared Goff is going to be received there when he walks into the stadium.
Oh. It won't be a good homecoming
won't be fun?
when it starts or when it ends. I have a feeling for Goff. But, yeah, no, you would have asked a few weeks ago, and, exactly what you said is Detroit the worst team in the NFL? Well, on the other side, everyone was saying that the Rams were the best team in the NFL.
Yeah. Then they got smacked.
And then the Cardinals got a hold of them. But, the Rams are still producing. They're running the ball. They're throwing the ball. Defense is coming up with big plays. You look at fantasy teams. A lot of these guys everyone wants the Rams as their defense. They're putting up points. Mm-hmm. So I don't even think this one's going to be a game. Again, this is one of those ones that probably wouldn't have even really made the sheet other than good conversation.
And Larry, general manager, is a Rams guy. So, yes, Larry, your Rams are going to win handily.
Yeah, at least you're on the winning end of that one.
Yes. I have one of the editors sits right behind me, and he's a Lions fan. And I can't even walk past his desk on Monday mornings. I just feel bad that he is still a Lions. Sorry, Jason, but you are a Lions fan. So, Chicago Bears at Tampa Bay. Listen to this. Tom Brady at 44, twice as old as Justin Fields.
Wow.
So Brady leads the NFL in passing yards and the NFC in touchdowns and 20-yard completions. Fields 2-2 as a starter, but just thrown 2 touchdowns. And that's kind of what we thought might happen with him. He's one of these young quarterbacks, and we talked about it a couple weeks ago. He's one of these young quarterbacks that looks at the first option and then says, all right, I got to get out of town.
Yeah.
Pocket's collapsing.
Yeah, he's bailing early.
He looked serviceable. He looked average against the Packers, but the Packers defense does that for people sometimes. Bears at Tampa Bay. It's got to be that Brady just keeps marching this thing on, right?
Yeah, I don't foresee any big change here. I don't see Tampa taking a step back. I like Fields. I think he's going to be a good quarterback once he gets developed. I did watch a couple of mental breakdowns with him this past week. Plays didn't go the way he wanted. He started yelling and screaming at his teammates. Yelled at the ref one time, and they almost threw a flag on him at that point. But, if you're going to be a leader of that team, of a Chicago Bear team that right now could be good, they're kind of on that verge right there. They have some talent. They have the ability to make some things happen. You're going to have to be a leader. You're going to have to become a leader real quick. And you've kind of been thrown into the lion's den right now with, hey, quarterback's out, you're in. We're gonna bet all our chips on you and let you go with it. He's going to have to mature real quick. And going against Tampa Bay Buccaneers isn't
the bad time for it.
Isn't going to help him right now.
Well, and you were in the NFL. Let me ask you this: how do you deal with teammates that are rookies and maybe feeling their oats and put in a position that they're not quite ready for? And 2, how do you deal with a teammate that is maybe a little arrogant and can cause some problems with the referees, especially with their temper? I mean, this is the same thing I thought about Baker Mayfield the last couple of years. This year is a little bit different, but.
When you get a rookie that comes in, of course, he's going to be tested. Bottom line, he's going to be tested. He's going to be tested on the players on his own team during the week, during practice, and just kind of test that maturity and see where he is. But when it comes game time, you're out there, you're one unit. Ultimately, it comes down to you want to win ball games, and that's where it is. You're going to give the support needed. You're going to back him. He is the guy out there right now, and whether it's the maturity, whether it's the newness of being in the position or not, you're still going to treat him like he's the leader. He is the guy out there calling the offense. He is the captain on the field, and he's doing what he needs to do. So you want to ultimately show that respect to him and that amount of support and try to be that positive. But it's real quick and it's real easy with the temperament when you get a rookie in there that starts yelling and screaming at his own team because whatever reason is, you didn't cut where you were supposed to cut. You rang the wrong pattern. You don't ever want, when you're that rookie, you don't want to look bad, so you're not going to take the blame that it was your fault.
Yeah.
But there's other guys out there that Mahomes, I'll tell you, we'll go back to him. His first couple of years in, there was times that you would see there'd be a bad pass. We're at home sitting on the couch watching the game, so you don't know if the quarterback threw the wrong route or the receiver ran the wrong route. Mm-hmm. But Mahomes would always tap his chest like, that's me, that's me. He would take ownership for it, deal with it and come back out. And I think that's what builds a leader. But what I saw with Fields this past week, a couple times that he turned around and he was yelling at teammates or pointing downfield and yelling at receivers, and that type of stuff's not going to be taken well. And that's the guy that's always pointing the blame. And my thing is, anytime you're pointing that one finger, take a look, because you got three fingers pointing back at you.
Yeah. And I know Aaron Rodgers does that. He'll do the whole, you were supposed to, or whatever, but I think after this amount of time, he's earned that. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. When you're young like that, you just, all right, my bad.
You got to pay your dues.
Fix it. Yep.
You got to pay your dues.
Okay. Well, we both got the Buccaneers, right?
Buccaneers.
All right. Monday night. I think this is going to be fun. Saints at Seahawks. Neither one of them are who we thought they were. I mean, the Saints, we really didn't understand what was going to happen with them, because with having Breeze retire and then coming in, and they had the great game against the Packers, and then they fell off the planet after that.
Thomas being out.
Yeah. And then the Seahawks now without Russ back there, it seems like they're going to have struggle. I think it'll be a close game. I don't know that we really think either one of these are headed anywhere. But
no, I don't think either team is going to be in the talks in the postseason. But it's, can they salvage the season, and where are they going from here? You got Russell Wilson out. You got Chris Carson's injured.
But the kid that's backing him up has seemed to be doing pretty well. I thought his name was like Carson as well or something. Seemed to be or Collins. I think
Collins,
that's his name. Yeah, he seems to be playing pretty well.
And then Gino.
Yeah,
I mean, another guy.
Speaking of guys that's played for every team
in the NFL.
Yeah.
He doesn't look good. Yeah. I mean, you got one of the things that I've said constantly is that you got Tyler Lockett, who's probably one of the most consistent receivers out there. Kind of that go-to guy, the for sure thing, get the ball anywhere close, he's going to catch it. And then you got Metcalf over here, who not as consistent in my opinion as Lockett, but he comes up with some big plays downfield. Neither one of them are really doing anything, going 2 catches out of 7 targets, and you can't look at it and say, okay, well, all of a sudden he forgot how to catch a ball. You got to look at it and put some ownership on the quarterback and say the quarterback's not getting the ball to him, or something's going on.
Yeah, is that a play calling thing? Is that a scheme thing? Is that a quarterback thing? I mean, first couple of games, Lockett was gone down the field. They were stretching the field. Everything was great. Underneath, they would get it to DK Metcalf, and he's got such good hands, and he's tall and physical and strong that you couldn't stop him either.
Yeah. And
now it just seems like both of them are kind of, you run down the field to get the defense away from the running back.
Right.
Or the quarterback.
Right.
You think, is that a scheme issue, or is that the quarterback making bad calls? Because this happened after like week 2.
Yeah.
So it's not like
I don't necessarily think it's a scheme issue, because for the first 3 weeks, 2 weeks for sure, Tyler Lockett went off.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 touchdowns, 176 yards and one. So I mean, Tyler Lockett had fantastic games. So I don't necessarily think it's a scheme issue. I think they're just struggling. They're having a hard time getting the ball to them. I've some defenses, week 3, week 4, defenses were double teaming Tyler Lockett, where it used to be Metcalf was getting the attention and Lockett was kind of the check down guy. I think this, towards the end of last season and the beginning of this season, Lockett's really been the standout guy. That's who Russell Wilson's been going to, and I think they started double teaming that guy, and I don't know if it changed the whole dimension with as far as things went with Metcalf, but the passing game has been working for them.
Yeah, and Gino for sure is not going to be that guy to get it downfield to Lockett. So what do you think, Saints or Seahawks?
Go across the river to Laughlin and take your chance and bet on red or bet on black. That's about how best way to decide on this one. Flip a coin.
Yeah, I don't know what the line is on it, but whatever it is, it'll be close. So
yeah,
I think that I'm going to go with the Saints. They've at least had a good game under their quarterback. So, and they had a week off.
Yeah,
to prepare.
Coming back rested.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the Saints. All right. Here you go. Here's your guys.
There it is.
Eagles at the Raiders. That is Sunday afternoon game. they sure, I mean, there were some questions. Matt Hanrahan and I talked last week about what's going to happen with Gruden leaving and the new coach. Are they going to rally behind him? Are they going to be upset? Did they like him? Did they not like him? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They seem to look pretty good.
They did. I've still got a little insight over there. Buddy's one of the trainers with the Raiders now, and I was talking to him, and it seems like everybody likes the coach. He's been kind of a cheerleader with the team. Everybody kind of rallied around the guy. They've liked him before he became the interim head coach. Nothing's going to change there.
He was special teams
coordinator,
and the assistant head coach. I think it was. Yeah.
So he's basically he's taken over the train on this one, and we're going to see where it goes down the track. It was kind of interesting to see, but the old offensive coordinator is right back into the offensive coordinator spot. So before Gruden came, he was there. He stepped right back into the role. It's funny, but the head coach, is keeping his special teams duties. Didn't want to give them up. So during practice, he's still running all the special teams stuff. One of the things that was interesting that I was talking to my buddy over there, and he told me that the way they're running the offense right now is they're letting Carr call the plays from the field, and he has free reign right now. So he is calling the offense from the field.
That's something that happened since Gruden left?
Correct.
Oh.
Yep. So with the head coach change and with the offensive coordinator change, they basically have given kind of free reign, and Carr is calling the plays from the field. Still on the mic with the offensive coordinator, but he is calling the plays from the field. So that could be a reason why they look good. Who knows? Who better to call the plays than the guy that's sitting right there in the middle of it?
Really, I know what I'm comfortable with throwing. I know what I see what's going on here with the blocking schemes and everything. I know. And he's not a second year or third year quarterback. No. He's been around for a while, so he knows what's up out there. That's interesting.
So I'm hoping they stay in that direction. I would love to see Carr continue to call the plays. He knows what's working out there. He knows who his guys are. He knows. And I'm telling you, I've been out there. I've been on the field. You look across that huddle, and you're looking into someone's eyes, and you can tell if they're ready to go, they're not ready to go, where they are. In my opinion, best guy to be calling the plays is a quarterback. So if you can have the maturity of a seasoned quarterback on any team in the NFL, I'm not saying this just because it's the Raiders. Any team in the NFL, I mean, you put a Tom Brady, you put an Aaron Rodgers, you put these guys out there, they're going to be able to navigate their team downfield probably better than someone standing on the sideline watching what's going on.
Yeah, and you and I have both coached, and we both get the sky view of what this guy's doing on defense and that. Well, you have a quarterback that's standing there not only seeing what they're doing, but can hear what they're doing and knows, this guy, I can get him on the wheel route or something because he always jumps whatever's in the flat. I think that's exactly it. The quarterback understands a lot more. Yeah. So on the flip side, you have the Eagles. Mm-hmm. They're 2-4. I think Jalen Hurts is one of these other young quarterbacks. Talented. Justin Fields, talented. Still having to get some of the speed and what everyone's doing and get that all figured out. Yeah. Still, I think he can throw the ball just like Justin Fields. I think he can run the ball just like Justin Fields. But I can't seem to figure out what's going on with them. How they are. I mean, was it a mistake getting rid of Carson Wentz?
My opinion, I think they did it early.
Yeah.
I think they made the move a little bit early. You could have had him in there, or you could have had him mentoring. I'm all for if your season's falling apart. If you're coming into this and you're 0-5, 0-6, and it's say, okay, time to cut the umbilical cord. Let's just go to Jalen Hurts. Let's get him in here, get him the experience, and let's start looking forward to next year.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case. You brought him in. He's not quite performing at the level that he should be. Will I say he's a overrated or underrated quarterback? Not necessarily. I think
too early,
I think he's got a lot of talent. I think he's got a lot of skill. I think that he's going to have a long career in the NFL. Is it a little early to put him out there right now? And you kind of threw the guy to the wolves. You threw him out there and said, hey, let's see what you can do.
Kicked him out of the nest.
And against some big teams.
Yeah.
Raiders defense right now has finally been really, really stepping up. It's probably the best defense they've been playing in a long time. Between Max Crosby and Perryman and Abram, I mean, these guys are just stepping up. I think I think the Eagles are gonna struggle. I think Hurts is gonna have a lot of pressure on him this weekend. I don't think that the line is gonna be able to hold what's coming at them. So I think they're gonna struggle there. And again, not just because it's the Raiders. I looking at the individual weapons that are going to be coming, I don't think they're going to be able to handle the pressure that's coming. The Raiders have been in people's face a lot this year.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you, when you have somebody like Jalen Hurts, why wouldn't you get as much pressure? Look, we're going to put pressure on you. Yeah. You're going to have to make the right decision quickly.
Yep.
And that's a lot of pressure on a young quarterback.
And you know the Raiders, they're not afraid to take a couple penalties, so they don't mind. They don't mind hitting a quarterback early in the first quarter and let them know, hey, we're here. We're going to be here all day long, even if we get flagged.
Early, late,
yeah.
On the field, on the sideline, in the locker room, whatever. We'll hit you wherever. Yeah. All right, we're both on the Raiders there.
Yeah.
This one's going to be just a blowout, right?
Oh yeah.
Houston Texans at the Cardinals. I didn't check to see what the line is, but I mean, you got to believe that the Cardinals beat them by 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, something like that. Mm-hmm. Cardinals are playing so well, and a few weeks ago I'm like, yeah, but well, once they handled the Rams and they just kept going. I mean, the Browns I thought would at least put up a fight. They beat the Browns by 23.
Yeah, 20 something.
And beat the Browns and beat the Browns. Yeah.
Hey, you never know though, John. This could, a couple weeks ago, I remember you and I saying that,
there's no way the Jets can win this game.
The New York teams can't win other than Buffalo, and they both came back and won the same week. But
all right, if the Texans come back and if the Texans beat the Cardinals, we'll come back on here on Monday and edit this video. All right, Chris? Take that whole thing out.
Yeah.
But, Cardinals have scored at least 31 points in 5 of their wins, allowed more than 19 points just once. They certainly aren't going to get 19 out of the Houston Texans, who have dismantled their team. They, between cutting salaries and trading people away, with J.J. Watt gone and DeAndre Hopkins gone and Whitney Merciless gone and all these other guys that are just gone, the Texans, it's like a fire sale over there.
That's the thing. You're mentioning everybody who's gone. The problem is, who do they have?
Yeah.
They don't. They don't have anybody there who's truly, truly solid that brings any substance to the team. And you're going against arguably the #1 team right now in the NFL.
Yeah.
That seems to just be on a roll, getting better and better every week.
Ridiculous. And we talked earlier about you playing. This could be an opportunity with the Houston Texans. Still not interested? Getting back out there and strapping?
Negative.
Okay, I'm sure you could walk on at the Texans and play tomorrow.
We might see these guys here at Mojave High School and River Valley recruiting soon, trying to get some
come on down.
Some of the boys to play.
I want to say it was like the Miami, the Marlins. The Marlins one year went out and got all these players and they boosted up their roster and they did great and everything else. And as soon as the season was over, it was like, get rid of them, get rid of him, and their salary went down to like 3rd from the bottom or something. I don't know how you do that to your fans where you wipe it out like that. Mm-hmm. So you're on the Cardinals?
The Cardinals.
How many points would I have to give you for you to take the Texans?
40.
40 points? All right, we're going to leave that one alone then. Although we could come in here Monday and go, man, I should have taken that.
So if you're looking for that quick payday and you want that long shot, right now is the time to go bet Houston.
Yes. They better give you 40, though.
Yeah.
All right, here's our other games. We're going to zip to these last 4. I didn't mention at the beginning that the Buffalo, after their loss last week, they get a bye, lick their wounds. Dallas, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, that's the Chargers, and Jacksonville. Yeah. Jacksonville gets a win, and now they lose all their momentum.
Yeah.
Poor guys. All right, so here we go. Atlanta Falcons at the Dolphins. 2-5 Falcons at the Dolphins. It appears that the Falcons can only beat people that are in New York.
Yeah.
Outside of that, which I don't understand. Matty Ice is a good quarterback. I don't understand what's going on over there. But Falcons and Dolphins. What do you got?
This again, coin toss here. I'll give it to the Dolphins just because they're getting home field and hopefully they can get Gaskin going.
And they're not from New York,
Not
so
from New York,
Atlanta
right.
should not be able to get them. All right. Speaking of New York Jets at New England Patriots.
Again, neither team is looking good. I'll go with New England again just because of the coaching and hopefully Jones is finally starting to settle down a little
Get
bit
his
in
thing.
there and get used to it. He's got 2 games under his belt now, so
Yeah, and he's looked good. He certainly isn't ready for their prime time, but he's looked good. The Jets are just miserable, even though they got their win. I actually looked at this a little bit and said, you know what, I think that, and then I realized that Belichick plays the Jets twice a year, every year, and it really doesn't matter. He'll scheme them up and get the win. So, Patriots. Panthers at the Giants. Oh, my God. You know, and they put Christian McCaffrey on the IR this week.
Yep.
So, he's gone for at least, I think it's at
3.
least 3 weeks
They said
still.
3, for another 3, yeah.
I don't know why you just wouldn't sit him down
At this point,
6, 7, 8 weeks just to get him healthy. I mean, he comes back, he plays a game, looks great, he's out. Comes back, plays, he's out. Just rest him and let him chill.
Yeah.
Without McCaffrey, though, the Panthers should still be able to handle the
I think
Giants,
so.
right?
I think so. Yeah, the Giants just don't have much to offer right now.
Yeah. The Giants have been outscored 82-31 in the past 2 games. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now last one, Colts at the Niners. Niners coming off a bye last week. Carson Wentz has completed 69% of his passes for almost 900 yards, 6 touchdowns, and no interceptions in the last 3 games. So he's almost 300 yards a game, 2 touchdowns a game.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't played the Niners yet.
Nope.
Do you think that changes when he gets in there and plays the Niners? A little bit different.
Yeah, I mean their defense is a little bit different. That again, that's going to be another tough one. It's going to depend on who shows up and who's ready to play. And if you know, same thing, picking there, I give a little bit of home field advantage to the Niners, and I know they're rested and they should be ready to go. I don't see the Colts really being a huge threat right now.
All right, so they're 2-3 right now. The Niners are.
Yep.
They lose this game. They're 2-4. Is it then time to, like you talked earlier,
Make a change.
pull the plug on Garoppolo
Yep.
and bring in the rookie? Yeah, I think so too. And I've seen him spot play this year, and I know it's a little bit different than when somebody game plans against the quarterback. But I think that he's looked a lot more decisive and a lot more, for sure, mobile.
Yeah.
I don't know if the team seems to be a little bit more excited when he's out there or not, but I think it's time to make that move.
Yeah, and Garoppolo's not doing what the 49ers thought he was going to do. I mean, I think they thought that he was going to be the guy to come in and kind of save that offense and be able to bring a little bit of maturity to that offense. And he's not. The guy's too indecisive. He's another one of those guys. You put pressure on him, he doesn't go through his checkdowns.
Yeah.
He goes kind of into panic mode.
Yeah, and that's too bad. And that's from getting hit, I would guess.
Yeah.
Chris, did you get that ad?
Yeah.
All right, can you put that up there? The monitor's out right now. I can't see it anymore. So I just want to remind you, Monday night up at Laughlin Ranch, Anderson Ford has a event up there. The game this week is the Saints-Seahawks that we talked about. Should be a really good game. But can you talk about some of the things that you guys do up there?
Yeah, it's a great night. We just we get a lot of the community. They come out. We do all kinds of raffle prizes. Every time you order a drink or order any kind of food item, you get raffle tickets. Every time there's a score in the game, we raffle all kinds of stuff off. Anywhere from free rounds of golf from Laughlin Ranch, massages and spa treatments at the spa. We got prizes from the 928 Desert Riders that are donated. Evolution Tattoo donates prizes. Anderson Ford, of course, we have a bunch of prizes that we donate. If you're out there, Mojave Daily News shows up sometimes. They'll do a live feed. They may make you famous, give you your 2 minutes of fame. But it's just a great time. During halftime, we do all kinds of contests for bar tabs and free food and all kinds of stuff up there. At the end of the night, we draw one lucky winner. That lucky winner gets entered into a drawing. At the end of the season, we're going to have 16 names in a pot. We're going to pull one of those 16 names out, and they're going to get an all-inclusive paid Super Bowl party hosted by Laughlin Ranch. So everything will be complimentary for you. You just get to go up there. They'll refill your drinks and bring you food whenever you ask for it, and you just get to sit back and have a party and not have to worry about cleaning up a mess at home after the game's over. So it's just a great time. Come on out and join us out there. Good time to be had by all, man.
Yeah,
it's just a great event. You guys have been up there.
They have, and the atmosphere is electric. It's a great time. So check it out.
We got DJ Loki up there every week too, and Loki's our DJ between during commercial breaks and between plays and timeouts. She's got the music playing, and she's on the microphone and doing all kinds of free giveaways and stuff too. So definitely come on out and check it out.
Everybody knows DJ Loki does her thing out there.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Remember, this is brought to you by Anderson Ford here of Bullhead City. You can take everything that we said and run right over to the...
Oh, definitely. If you don't, you're crazy.
If you don't, you're crazy. All right, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.